This is Vibeke from KontraPro Risk Management. I'm here today with Alexander Larsen from Baldwin Global, and we're going to talk about risk management again. This time about risk management in different cultures, different industries, and a little bit about communication.
Yes, we have very different experiences in terms of our background. I've worked in the UK, but only for a shorter period, and then I went abroad. I was in Asia for a while, and then the Middle East was a very large chunk of my working career. And then since then, I've been working globally, including in Africa, parts of Africa. So that's my background. And Vibeke, what's your?
Well, I have not been traveling to the extent that you have. My background is basically from Norway, a little bit from the UK, and a little bit from Spain. So a little bit more limited, but I have very different industries in my background. So I have healthcare, and I have oil and gas, and I have media. So I have a broad experience.
Yeah, this should be really interesting to see. In terms of industries for me, I also have the oil and gas, and previous to that, I worked a large chunk also in the public sector, local authorities. So that's again a bit different as well. It's more of a services orientated rather than financial or product. So it should be fascinating to see where this takes us.
Yeah, it should be. Culture is about the norms that the group has that is kind of similar.
Yeah, exactly.
When you come in with your assumptions, going to a different country or a different part of the world, we bring with us so many things.
Yeah.
And then we assume things.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously having worked in the Middle East and Asia, again, there were certain differences in the way you might want to deliver news, for example. In some cases, they're quite willing to hear the bad news as long as you deliver it in a specific way that can be dealt with in the right manner. And of course, in some places, like as you said, you've worked in Norway, you just throw it out there. You would just announce a risk, and everyone's quite accepting of that. It might be different in other places.
Yeah, I've experienced this just between our two countries, really. Mm-hmm. From Norway and you're from Scotland or UK. And the need to be polite is we're not known as a very polite people in Norway, but we're polite in a different way.
Yeah.
But the need to word yourself correctly, to show the right kind of respect to the right management level is very important from my experience.
And I think that's a good point to mention, because with regards to the differences between the UK and maybe Asia and the Middle East, although there are the differences, one of the problems I found is when a person goes out there, it's not so much that they're rude, it's not so much that they aren't polite, and it's not so much that the other cultures are different. It's more the case that a lot of people that go out from the UK and Europe in general, they go out thinking this is the best practice, this is the way it must be done, and they go out and they say this is how we're going to do it here. And it doesn't work, because it's a different culture, it's a different organizational culture as well as a regional culture, and you shouldn't be going out there saying this is how it's the right way to do it. And that's what I like about risk management. It should be flexible and adaptable to the organization, to the local customs, cultures, and the processes, basically.
Really, it doesn't work if it's not picking up on the culture that's existing in the place you're trying to implement it.
Exactly.
Also, I would like to mention, I just, one of the webinars I held recently, there was this person pointing out that, also such easy things as how we use words is important. She said, I understand dog in one way and you understand dog in another way. I know you have dogs. I'm a little bit scared of dogs. Yeah. So I will see something different if we talk about the dog. I know it has 4 legs and it has ears and all this. It barks a little bit, and sometimes they are nice and sometimes they're not. But also clarifying, what does it mean, every word I'm using? When I say this is very dangerous. What do you mean by dangerous?
Yeah, exactly. There's levels.
Yeah, and we need to agree on that.
Definitely, and get that consistent view of it.
Yeah, so in one country a high risk can be...
Well, I can take my experience from Iraq, for example. Their view of danger is very different from the view of danger in the UK or in Norway, where life is very different and we face very different challenges day to day. So, and I think that's, a red risk to them is going to be different to a red risk for us. They probably look at our red risks and think they're quite tame, unless we get that sort of agreement of what is red, amber, and green, and what is high and low. Yeah.
So there's a lot of groundwork that needs to be done, but the groundwork is so valuable.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe even more valuable than the risk workshop itself.
I would say so. If you understand, again, the organization you're working in, the culture you're working with, if you have those ground rules or ground context, essentially, the risks almost come out naturally.
Yeah, and people agree.
Exactly, and you just need a good facilitator to extract that information. But without all of that context setting ahead of time, it sort of gets sort of lost in translation, and the risks are more difficult to identify. And I think we're actually going to get onto this in a separate topic as well when we discuss the perfect risk meetings.
And also, just to sum up, also different levels of an organization will view risks from different perspectives. I had this experience from one company I worked with, where we, as a project, had a risk register, and then we had to escalate it to management, 4 or 5 levels up, and then they sent it back, saying, you need to fix this risk. But through that process, they had changed the wording of the risk. They had changed from a 5x5 matrix to a 7x7 matrix, and we just didn't speak the same language. So it's a risk management challenge in itself to manage culture. I think we'll stop there.
I think it's a good time to stop.
Thank you, and we'll be back with more.
Thanks.
Thank you.